Hello everyone, SpeeDMan here, back again with some more of our Let's Learn Civilization 6 content here. We're going to go ahead and go into our Korea game. And from this particular point on, we're going to continue trying to focus on getting as many settlers out as possible. We
From
really
humble
need to get
beginnings, you
expansion
have
going pretty
shown
heavily
remarkable growth.
if we're going to have a chance at
Leave your
catching up.
bronze for iron,
Brazil's settling north
and
of us, but
rule
that's
with
going to fall
horse
into
and
immediate
sword.
loyalty issues
The
for
sky
sure
above begins to reveal
because
its
he's far away from his
secrets,
empire and he's
a
closer to
collection
me.
of
So
heaven
eventually
that
he'll
uplifts
convert
our
over.
hearts
Um,
and guides
I'll
us
take
to
advantage
foreign
of that by
shores.
putting more settlers down, and that'll
Queen
build pressure
Sandu,
here, and then I'll be able to get
the
another city out
stars
of it.
reveal you lead Korea to greatness. Build Seun to educate your people, for the secrets of the world are theirs to uncover. For those who would steal your knowledge.
So this Seun here is good. Yes, I could buy that tile and put a mine there. That's +4. It's +4. Let's go off of that. I'm going to go immediately into natural philosophy. Let's just make an immediate focus on our science. Start catching up science more. Brazil is way far ahead in science, so in order to catch up, we're going to need to take advantage of that. What I will do is, since we only have 2 cities here and they're very small, we're going to focus heavily on settlers and going to go settler. And 1, 2, 3. So let's do settle there. Settle there. And a settle there. And that'll give me some structure I could work with. I could consider, if no one else is already going for it, I could go for Petra. No results. Good. So, could settle, probably settle around here. And that'll be kind of decent kind of region to kind of work off of there. So what I'll do is I'll settle here. That'll apply pressure to them, and then I'll settle another city there. So let's go ahead and let's get you started. Let's see here. And we'll immediately go for that focus here on settling. That way we can put some more Seun there, and that'll just help us as well. Let's also think about where hills are. Okay, so we are close enough to hills that we could probably put, oh yeah, so we'll put a Seun there. We'll put, so this will be an excellent place for a nice little farm region here. Could probably put a, actually no, dam wouldn't be good there. Actually, a dam wouldn't be bad. A dam would help just to keep this from losing population. But at the same time, there'd be greater bonuses. So I'll leave this without a dam. I'd rather it not have a dam because then I can actually fill that out with something else. I could probably put another farm here potentially. Plenty of farmland to set up here, so that's good. I've secured a golden age for now. I very much need to focus on better development though. So I have one. Let's bring this up. Actually, I'll go there because I'd like to get that set up here. I want you to keep an eye on what's north here. It's immediately going to lose loyalty pressure, or start getting loyalty pressure. Refuse deal. Trade route with the city. Eventually I will do that so that way I can get the 6. And then that way my Soons are going to be pretty powerful. Let's bring you up to here. That's 5 turns out. Urban planning. 7 turns, so that'll be 3 turns away. That'll be 1 turn away. So a settler card's not going to be very helpful at this point. But making some good development here will help us kind of start to catch up a little bit. It'll bring our science game more into the fold. Have you around? Okay. So you will go to Anshan. It'll give me a teeny little bit of gold, but it'll also remain friends with him because I'm not going to try to deal with a war with him. He's too much of a threat. He would completely level my cities, so I will try to get some value out of this. So I would lose my faith income, but I'd be gaining culture, and I do need culture. Let me think for a sec. My culture is pretty bad, so that would help me get another. That would give me another. Let's see here. So 2 great works of writing would give me +4 science. A relic would give me +1. So that would actually boost my science more. And then... So you wouldn't be able to give me anything of value. You wouldn't either. You wouldn't either. And... 20 there. Religion game is pretty dead in this run, so I'm not worried. It's just better that I focus on science from this point on. I can keep, a little bit of my religion going and be okay there. But the thing is that at this point here, I need to just allow my faith income to kind of drive me here. I'm going to lose production a little bit over time. That's fine. I'm going to gain the value that I can get by getting these settlers down while I am able to. It's going to give me more that I can do, and I'd rather be able to do more with it at this stage of the game. This is a difficult situation to be pushing through, so I need to expand quickly. Let's see here.
I've lived through some terrible things in my life.
So now, actually, great writers got +2. So 2 per turn. Um, Getting my science up would be so much more useful because then getting education and focusing on that would be key. So I'll actually go ahead and consider that as a good option. The builder or the settler here is going to be good because I'll settle here. Then I'll settle here. And I'll be able to fill out some of this area here as we go. Yeah, and these cities will be fine here. They'll be landlocked, but I'm not worried about being coastal here. If I push this out, I could push this out to that direction. Because in this area here, this is pretty susceptible to droughts. So this is a bit of a tricky situation because if I settle here, I put a dam here. Let me see what the dam can do. Prevents damage from flooding of the river. Prevents flood loss or food loss during drought. Only be built along each river's floodplain. So basically, I would use this city. I'll use this city to build a dam, and I would be able to do more with that because this is an area that's susceptible to drought. So I will make use of that while I can. So I'll settle there, and then I'll deal with the drought situation. So no problem. Magnus, you're as good as you need to be. Actually, provision at this point really would be helpful. I'd like to not lose the population right now. You will go here. Now that's done, let's go ahead and get games and recreation going. That city is starting to rebel sooner. So problem.
Great news.
So it'll be a good medieval era.
Without mathematics,
I'll be able to put more pressure into this area here, which is good. Keep him around. Now, Golden Age here, I would say this is a tough choice here. All builders, civilian units with faith. I would say monumentality. I feel like it's going to be the best thing for me at this stage. I really need. I'm also gonna move him down military training and games recreation. Games recreation, research the construction technology. That is right there. That's 5 turns plus 6 plus 2, so that's 8 turns. So I can go through this section here because I will need to get this stuff eventually, because I need to get niter and some other stuff that I can make use of. Military engineers wouldn't hurt either. So a farm here will be good. And then this guy will go here and make another farm. A nice little farm group here. We'll get a bunch of extra food from a zone. So that's fine. And then I'll just transfer that tile over because that's going to be a 3 food, 1 production tile. So that's a beautiful tile to set into. So no problem. Almost at 6 pop here. Add some extra value here. Chosen player generates more grievances. There. See how that goes through. Okay. So you both chose Sunduck. I don't know why you chose me.
may the forces of evil.
So you are immediately going to settle in. You're gonna come over here, just in case Georgia gets any ideas. Actually, I do have wine. Six gold per turn. Oh wait. John Curtin's got the best deal. It's the most overall gold. By a long shot. Okay. Surprised they're only now going for that, but that's weird. Could have gotten a lot more value from having that many turns earlier. I'm not sure what the AI was doing there. I'm gonna wait. As much as I want to go, it's too risky because Georgia could easily take that. It's gonna leave some development, but that's fine. This is a good Seun. I can eventually clear these out. Good. So you're not going to be a primary threat anymore. Well, there's actually a small chance that she might return. Declare war on Lodin. That's further out that way, so I can't even see it. Military training.
No hour of...
Build an encampment. We're going to head this way. Okay, so that built a monument. It doesn't. No, it didn't. Oh, it's because he's in a golden age as well. No, he's in a normal age, but I'm in a golden age. That's weird. If I build another city here, that'll put some pressure on this area, so that's fine. I'll keep an eye on that. Seun will be good, or library will be good, because that'll give me additional science per turn. I just realized I made a dumb mistake by not putting on the natural philosophy card. I'm just going to have to eat that loss and just deal with it. It's a pretty big loss to take, though. I should have realized that. That was stupid of me. I was more focused on the Great Writer. At this stage, I'm not really getting enough points for it to really matter. Damn. That was a dumb mistake, but I'm going to learn with that. I'm going to live with that. Otherwise, I won't learn. So in this case, here, we'll swap. Put a Seun there. I'll get started on that. I'm going to keep saving up money because I would like to buy a university right off the bat. That's going to provide me with a lot of benefits, so I'm going to hold off on anything else than that. Good. I'm going to just save. Try to just get as many great people points as possible, specifically for great scientist points, so that way I can really start getting enough income to get Isaac Newton. If I can pull that off, there's a 1 in a million chance that I can pull that off, then I'm going to go for it. I'm going to, in the meantime, since that's done in one turn, I'm going to pick that. I'm actually going to buy another one and set up here. It's going to be a very slow city, but the city that I can make good use of. I could also settle here. I would actually think that might be a better settlement location here. There's a ton of desert here. Yeah. That's all 1, 2, 3. Settlement here. Into like a settlement there. That's better. And I could probably build a dam here. And that works. So this one, you will go here. And the rest of my faith, I'm just going to save for now. I don't really need too many other builders or anything at the moment. Once
People
again,
who cannot find
another
time.
drought. So the droughts here are really going to make the growth here much more difficult to attain. So to deal with that, that's really where I'm going to basically try to build speed with, well, first I'm taking this off, and then I'm putting on natural philosophy, which I should have done in the first place. Could go off of production and go for great scientist points. Let me just, before I forget, I've got 2. It'll help me start to catch up in that regard. Production isn't really a problem in my other, well, it kind of is. It's a small city, so. So for now, I'll take that off. But with that, and I'm not really producing anything that's going to need that. And now my scout can actually do what I wanted him to do, which is basically just move him out and about. So that's a couple turns away. That's no problem. That will go here, that'll go there, and that'll fill in my cities nicely. So see, that's where a monumentality can be super good. Is just very quick empire building. Just immediately, just boom, 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 get a couple cities down, get things moving. So that's a trade route coming to me. 1,000-year flood. It's going to fertilize those tiles. Like that tile's now a 1-4. And we'll settle that. Getting there sooner than later is a really powerful thing because that just gives me more loyalty pressure here. I'm not worried about my religion anymore. I'm not going to fight that war. I'm not going to be able to compete with his means. So, and then having 2 different religions pressuring me and I'm in between that is just not a good position to be in. Pleasure to meet you.
The 4 building blocks.
So that, let's see here, boosted construction. Ah, right. Forgot, I kind of completed that like a dummy. And so you will go there. And then an not encampment, sorry, I'll put an aqueduct here. And that'll keep that covered for food. So that's no problem. That'll grow pretty soon, and then I'll be able to transition maybe 1 or 2 things off. Actually, both of those are being used. Is there anywhere else I can put them? No. So not a ton of value that I can exert with them, but that's okay. Niter's not bad. I personally feel like it would almost be more beneficial for me to like probably get an industrial zone here going. You will go down here and just keep working your way over. That way you can enjoy those benefits. You will start to lose loyalty pressure. You will start to lose loyalty pressure eventually. A +4 here with more, yeah, I would say a +4 here with more of these valuable tiles is just too damn good. It's just, there's too much value there. I'll have you explore. It's going to be very hard to produce a normal age here, but I'm going to do my best here. It's the only settlement I need to put that's near him, so that's no problem. You're friendly. Five tiles gain fertility. That's a 1-5. It's 3, 1, 2, 2, 1. It's extremely high value. Golly. I'm gonna lock that because that's a permanent tile. That's not gonna go anywhere. And next turn I'll be able to get started on an aqueduct. And then eventually I'll be able to make a dam.
Steam hit.
So we'll go from there. Let's see here. Finish up this setup here. Looks like, and it sounds like he killed that. Yep, he killed that city save we'll need. Settle you there. I'm actually going to swap that tile. At least I have some food growth. Okay. One science lost per district tile. So if I see, that's the tricky thing is I'm trying to avoid putting a dam there, but a dam there is just, it's going to be very, very important that I have one just to protect these areas. Otherwise the flood damage is way too high a potential flood issue. And that's just too valuable. That's a 1-3. It's excellent tile. I'll go ahead and build that. You will just check out what's around here. Another science city-state. And yours is recruit a great admiral. That's not going to happen. But I will we'll make use of that. That'd actually be a very useful one to put 2 chargers into. What did I do? See, here's the problem. I settled here. I'm nowhere near you, buddy. Like this settlement is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 tiles away. They're nowhere near. So now, because I settled a city in my own area, now I'm at risk of them trying to declare war. Like that's pretty stupid. I don't understand what the deal with that is. So now I'm gonna have to potentially scramble for like an actual war, which is a little frustrating because it didn't do anything, but I'm just gonna have to kind of take that issue in hand. So that is what it is. I have to be careful here, though. I need this to not be working on that scout, on that settler. Campus research wouldn't be bad. Getting the basics for a military also wouldn't be bad eventually. Let's get a theater square going. That's going to be a lot more valuable than another settler. I can work on another settler at another point in time. Bring you back, just so that way that doesn't get damaged. That probably just got destroyed. Move over here. Plus, I'd rather that city go to me anyways, because there's just too much value, too many tiles that, you know. I got something over here. Moderate flood. No population loss, but 2 tiles damaged. That's fine. That's still livable, but gaining fertility is good. That's a 1-3. Is it, what, 4 tiles? That's a 1-4. 1-2. Still 1-2. So this series of tiles, I guess, got damaged. But at the moment, since I have 35 gold per turn, I'm going to go ahead and purchase a builder. Just do some repairs and some basic, adjustments. I'll get a farm here. And then these farms here will help kind of just really help my food growth here. So we're okay. Library is done. That's going to boost my science a little bit more. Does not hurt to have, an extra couple science per turn. This is in Jinju. So let's do... Let's do monument into watermill. So there you are. There's the Zulu. So that tells me where you are. So no problem.
Invincibility lies in the defense.
Let's take that off. Go Diplomatic League. Urban planning is not bad. I'll leave the scout experience because that will actually be eventually pretty useful. I'll have you go ahead and you make the farm. Yep, see, that's what I was trying to go for. That's a +2, so that's pretty damn good. 45 XP from another level, it's going to be a while. Glory watch, there you go. Fez, what do you do again? When you use religious universe, so not really relevant anymore. Bengala could be good. So you could put you into Jinju. That'll give me a few extra little bits that I need. Actually, yeah. Because what I'll do here, actually, yeah, no, 100%. So that'll use 2. And take suzerainty suzerainty of that. I've got +4 Diplo favor per turn. It's pretty damn good. +8. So let's make some gold here. Let's go 45 of those. And okay, that actually worked perfectly. So that'll just shore up my economy a little bit. I'm making 4 per turn, so I mean really I'm doing okay here. Yeah, it's definitely not bad. I should not have clicked out of that one particular tribal village. I actually could have taken a look at that. Oh, it's right here. So I'll just put that down there so I don't forget. Tribal village. And then defensive tactics. You are going to go from defensive tactics into feudalism. Because pretty soon we will meet the requirement for, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have enough to make them. I just need to.
There is no easy way to train him.
Yeah, so that's fine. So you will go over here. Time to repair. You will make your way over here. Potentially get something decent. Never really know. Let's see here. Bring you down. Picks you up. And that's not as useful as I thought it would be. I mean, 20 faith is 20 faith. Never hurts to have a couple turns worth of faith, but yeah. That is what it is. Now, if I make, let's see here. Another farm here. Yeah, that would work well. Just gonna keep on saving gold.
After a loss in...
Good, so that city's eventually gonna turn. I could consider putting another city up here, and that'll give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cities. You will work your way down in this direction. And move up just to get some information here. Okay. So we're just starting to fill in this area. And see, this is definitely a better position than we had before. You know, only having 2 cities. Now we've rapidly expanded. We've made good use so far of this golden age. We're not going to likely get... we're probably going to go into a dark age, but the capital and better cities are closer to Brazil here, so they'll be able to maintain loyalty much better than it would be otherwise. So you are going to work your way over here. Let's see here. That would turn into a plus. There'd be a 3 production, 1 science, 1 food. So not really that big of a deal. But, oh, that's 2 production. Oh, I forgot because I have the other research done. Bring you back. I'll do that because that's a plus 4 production. That comes into use with that. No problem. That's 1 turn from getting done, so that's going to boost my culture up a little bit. Now, you go here. I could build a lumber mill. If I get rid of that and make... So that's with that city. It's 150. How much is that? It's 80. Do that into that. And then while we're at it, faith purchase, 1 more builder. Much as I don't want to be using my faith, this is like literally the best thing I could be doing right now is utilizing my faith income. And then I need to work this guy around because I'm not going to have access to this stuff down south here. So this is good. This will get 2 science. That just happens to be in the perfect location. Eventually I'm going to want to take a switch here, switch off autocracy, and probably go for classical republic. I'm going to need the amenities overall. That's just going to keep my cities from having happiness issues. So I'd rather go down that road a little bit. A couple of Seuns getting done here, so that's good. That pillaged that, but that's going to provide a little more food. 1 tile gain fertility. If I owned a couple more of those tiles, that would be pretty darn good. Great scientist isn't likely going to happen. So let's build you. Get you bugged out of there. Oh, he's at war with John Curtin. Okay. So definitely not bad. This is a good position. You'll go down here and just make some repairs. You'll make your way up this way. Kind of steaming on through some of these turns here. There's not a lot to be doing since since working on all this. This will start to blow up my science, so that'll bring it up to like, let's see, that'll be, so let's repair. Let's bring you through. That should go back up to 4 production, 5 production. Look at that. Wow, that's a good tile. So that's an excellent tile. Let's see. I need to see where the adjacency bonuses come into play with aqueducts. So that wouldn't hurt. So it's kind of a tricky call here because I'm up to 63 science per turn, which, excuse me, is a bit more in line with some of the other competition. Obviously, Brazil and Australia are pretty far ahead in that regard. If I rapid build that, that's 4 science per turn extra, on top of getting another great person. I'm 1 turn out from getting university, so the university will be helpful. So let's go ahead and take advantage of that while we can. You will go ahead. Actually, you will make an aqueduct. We'll just have that queued up and ready. We'll go ahead and buy a granary, and then we'll see if we can make a quick trade deal. So I'm gonna get rid of these. Really get my economy really properly chugging along. Let's see here. So the more I boost my science up, the more I'll be able to really start properly competing. So that's exactly as I want. Let's see, that's going to be another 20 science, or 20 gold per turn. Oh, that's already taken into account. Okay, perfect. So it's definitely better. It's a lot better than it was before. I'll go Monument. That will rebel in 18 turns. That's why I'm not messing with the city. I'm just trying to stay out of the way of it. So that way it'll eventually just convert itself and I can take a good proper gander at this area here. So you may have access to something like Niter or something like that, you know, that I don't see. Because he's seeing something that I don't. The grievances will start to disappear properly, so we're okay. This is good. You can go ahead. I'd like you to go ahead and get the granary going. Take some of that growth pressure off. You just keep working on the monument. This will have very slow growth, but we'll start to catch up a little bit. And then getting the aqueduct here will really help a lot. That'll really be critical. This is really good.
The purpose of education is to replace an empty mind with an open one.
So, now that he's here, let's see. That's 17 turns. It's 3 turns. I'll wait till the settler's done so I don't lose a population. For now, we'll put a sail on, or sorry, we'll put a mine there. Or better yet, if Mexico City was in this particular game, that would be super clutch. Get you back in there. Safest tile you can be in at the moment. And let's see here. Go ahead and get started on university. Because by the time I really want to chop this down, yes, I could do that now, and that'll be nice and fast, but I want to optimize this more. So finish this off, then switch them. because then you'll be able to go to a much better city with better yields, which will help. And I'll be able to gain more value from that. So that's what I'm going to do. And university next to a mountain. That's okay. I'll probably buy... Actually, there we go. Boom. And that's now really going to adjust my my potential gains a good bit. That'll be 8 science per turn. And look at my science now, is now starting to outcompete my other people around me. Brazil's going to be my main competitor, but the more I continue an upward curve, the more I'll really start to catch him. So a build charge here, because that's a 1-1-4. So 1, 2, 4. That one is just insane. That's just too good. Flooding down south. I want you to work your way up. I don't want you to stay out of this part of the Zulu Empire, because you're not going to be able to get through it anyways. Let me make you a separate deal. So of course, Shaka, you're putting more usage in there. I could technically get, you know, Amani, but I'm gonna wait till the next era. Or actually, you know what? Nah, I can't do anything about that. That's actually lost me some science per turn too. So that's 6 turns away. That's gonna be another plus 8 gold, or 8 science rather. That'll put me above 80. Should be good. You're at a remarkable 156, so you're skyrocketing. The more trade routes or trade deals that I make, the better. That's very little gold. He just does not have gold. They won't. A lot of them have grievances against me, so I'm just going to have to let those level off. He's probably at, what, 6? Okay, yeah, 64, so that's not that bad. So you're going to go ahead and move here. This one takes a long time to do. But I am starting to pick up a nice little bit of it. And the more straight scientist points I pick up, the more I'll kind of catch up. So that's just what I'm looking for. So your border's closed. Just head back that way. How many turns? Very slow rebellion. So yeah, a settler up north here would just secure that.
May I make a suggestion?
So let's see here. This would be a good chance to pick up a lot of diplomatic favor as well. While I'm at it. Remain friends with you. Now actually has a bit of a gold economy here, so... Let's go 18. So he values it less than before. And the others I'm having issues with, so let's bring a settler up there. One more settlement here will just really, that'll help teeter some of that pressure off. Let's see here. Settler's all done. So you're going to switch out with, let's see here. You're going to switch. And you're going to go to the Jinju. I'm going to go there. And then I'm going to sleep for 5 turns. Close to running out of time here. I will likely get a Dark Age, which is why I'm trying to make sure I set up, you know, pressure here in my areas so my cities are safer. Do a little bit of aid. So we're okay so far. Got enough time until the next era, so what I'll do is before the point we get to the next era, I'll probably pick up, you know, another settler, settle here, and then I'll have all the cities I need for the rest of the game. And then I could just focus on outright development once we go from medieval or Renaissance era onward. Of course, Cahokia got taken away. That's because you decided to put
We have them covered away.
in that.
In democracy, it's your vote that...
I'm losing some diplo favor per turn. I'm losing 2 diplo favor per turn, which is a lot, though. So you... Let's see here. I think a trade route from Seoul to Cahokia would be solid. So let's ship you to Seoul. There's not very much I could do. It's not going to give me open borders, so I'm pretty screwed on that position. Since feudalism is done, that's going to also help some of my farms once I set up more of them. That will definitely help. Let's see here. Probably go into this. I feel like that's going to make the most sense for me with my current build. Although... I should take that for sure. Yeah, that's really going to benefit me the most here. You're going to stay asleep for another 4 turns. You're going to keep working your way up this way. I want that city, because a couple more cities here would really just seal the deal. Here, plus once I settle here, I'll go ahead and buy another settler with faith. Speaking of which, how much faith is it? 320? Yeah, I'll have enough. And then the next 3 cities here, and that'll basically set up my empire exactly the way I want it. Well, not exactly, but it'll definitely be better. Are gonna vote me again. The Mar, and both of those are different.
I don't underrate the value of military knowledge.
Trade out to Cahokia will be good. Sending gifts of gold. It's completing the A project, being on board. That's a little unfortunate, I guess. This denouncement shouldn't last that much longer. Down to 40 grievances, so that should disappear soon. Well, not just that, but those denouncements should. And that'll open up the market for me to actually sell more of my Diplo favor. Looking around, which tile got damaged. That's annoying though. A tornado now is just not a good thing to have. I need to also make sure I keep, from forgetting another key thing, which is also a bad habit of let's see here first. I already have a Seoun there. Here's where Seoun's gonna be tricky. So there aren't any. Actually, 1, 2, 3. I can clear that, and I can get another Seoun there. That can work. It's like the only other place there's hills. So you're already on the way there. You're 2 turns away. University is going to take a darn long time, so I was thinking about what else I can put around here that's going to help. Let's go ahead and shore up my culture per turn a little bit. Beta squared there is better. +1 there versus a +1 and losing the production tile.
Astronomy is much more.
Oh, for fucking come on, man. Oh. Oh, fuck you. That's really annoying. I have 1 envoy. I could put that into there, gain suzerainty back. It's not going to gain me anything. Putting 1 back in there would be better for me. I like having intel over the area around me. That's 1 turn out, so that's going to boost up. Man, that is just... What else got damaged? Because it took a chunk of my science to... I don't understand why I lost so much science out of it. 4 tiles are damaged. 4... Oh. Oh, you're fucking kidding me. I lost 2 population as well. Oh, dude. The least you could do is fertilize tiles if you're going to destroy anything I had going. That's so annoying. Alright, it is what it is. Just have to take the L. That is extremely frustrating. So let's adjust here. Let's do that, so that way I can go into these two. Get the watches. Renaissance area replaces the field cannon. High ranged attack strength, cannot move and attack in the same turn. High range attack strength, that's 60 range attack, so or range. So that's a lot. So eventually if I decide that war is necessary somewhere, like if they decide to commit to a war, I can eventually start building them. And another one. I don't remember. Did I have disaster intensity on 4? Like, is that what I did? I don't remember. I need to go back and check. This is cursed.
Our people have chosen.
So this little city won't be able to make a soon, but that's fine. Let's go into, yeah, that's fine as is, and then we'll go granary. So go into that. That'll get back this turn. That'll remove. That way I can put down another setup here. I'm lucky I didn't lose. Man, losing the 2 pop there. That I'm glad I put down another district, because that would have killed me. So that will be more likely to rebel. That's 1 turn out. So what I'm going to do is change governments in 1 turn to a classical republic, and that'll be a little more helpful for me. That still hasn't been taken yet, so that's good. Just starting to get some great people points, so I'll need that. Let's see here. Wonder construction. That's actually a very good one. The others are going to be able to beat me out by that, or to that for a pretty good amount. I need to think. Man, losing all that progress is really unfortunate.
If it's natural to kill, how come...
So let's change governments to classical republic. Yes, it's going to make the whole Vitala Palace a lot slower. That's fine. I can live with that. Not worried about the scout XP. What I would like, though, is I could probably go to that. Would like to pick that up. Yeah, because if I get that, I won't be able to get that settler. But I can just simply train a settler, and that's fine. I'd rather do that. So I can buy a few builders that'll be very high-level builders, and that's going to provide me much more benefit. While I'm at it, let's take that back. I want that back, thank you. Okay, so positionality-wise, I think we're definitely not in a bad spot here. That's done in one turn. That's perfect. That aid will be rendered in 4 turns. So that's fine. At least getting my plus, 4 culture back, it's going to help me a lot. We'll get the holy site back, so that way I can get faster production here. Losing some production is definitely not a good thing. Of course, Shaka's going to go for that. I will eventually go for that.
Few inventions have been so simple as the...
So stirrups is now done. Now I have the option to go into banking, but I need to eventually just have everything set up so I can immediately make a push for commercial hubs. Guilds, no, I'm not going to have access to that for a while, so that's not going to happen. We'll go ahead and just get that going, because the banks will help. Having gold on top of the other stuff will help me kind of catch up a little bit, so I will focus on that a little bit. Once this is 7 population, it's just going to take some time, but once it is there, good. University's done. That puts me at 100 science, so I'm just starting to catch up to the others. Perfect. The more I catch up, the better. This is a pretty low production city. I'd rather get this a 7 pop. I need to get a commercial hub. Commercial hub would be absolutely helpful here. And I'll probably put the commercial hub like maybe somewhere over here or something like that. Also, if I don't put up a commercial hub there, I could put, let's see here, probably an industrial zone here. That'll help those cities. So that will change over. It's what I want. And then, let's see here, we could... We're going to go for the builder charge, or the builders. Because then what I can do is I'll have enough faith to buy another settler. And that'll cover the settler needs for the rest of the game. And I won't need any more settlers. Plus no one else has been building settlers, so we're okay. So I'll build a settler, put them down there, and then that basically puts me in a position that's really strong for the rest of the game. Just having another city wouldn't hurt. Good. That's done, so they should be done with their denouncements pretty soon here. Five more turns? Okay. That's actually not bad. Aid request. Have those things queued up. This is good. Losing the golden age will make this go a lot slower, so basically I'll have to get Amani and then use a couple governor charges on her to make this a little more viable. Okay, so we got one more turn until the next era. This will be the term that I go ahead and buy that settler. I'll probably buy the settler here. Okay, I think the game had like a small bug for a moment there. That's going to reduce that value. City needs that production. City needs their... I mean, I could live without the adjacency bonuses. Because I can put a commercial hub here. I can put, let's see here, probably a couple of commercial hubs here. Just have a couple commercial hubs available. It's powerful. We'll purchase a settler. And that settler, you are going to work your way down here. And I think this is definitely not a bad place to stop. So everyone, I want to thank you for your time. And we'll be back with another episode a week's time after this recording. But for the time being, we'll go ahead and stop right here. All right. Everyone have a good one. SpeeDMan out.